Listen, I spent years trying out pretty much every single skincare product out there, thinking that, okay, I just need this new acne prone exfoliator to finally fix my acne. Oh, I need this new serum with this secret ingredient or this new formula. All these, ads, I just fell for them all. And after spending hundreds of dollars on all these products, nothing working, I went on to pharmaceutical products, drugs, went to the doctor, got prescribed antibiotics, all these kinds of pills, creams, even Accutane. Spoiler alert, none of it worked. So then we was literally back to the drawing board again because I had to fix my acne somehow because it was just horrible living with acne. This is how my skin looked. So I thought, why not try to clean up my diet because, well, to be honest, I had eaten, pretty shit. Obviously, like I was a teen, I was eating junk food, drinking sodas, eating candy, all that stuff, because I just thought I could eat whatever I wanted without it really affecting me. And it had never really crossed my mind that my diet could be influencing my skin health. Because, first of all, like when I went to the doctor, I was never once asked about my diet or my lifestyle or anything like that. I was just prescribed a pill. I just thought, well, this pill is just magically gonna fix it. So after actually fixing my diet, cutting out certain foods, my acne actually started to go away. And that is the one thing that helped me clear my skin, actually treating my skin as a part of my body and my overall health instead of just looking at it in isolation. There's this old saying, as above, so below. You can't expect to have glowing, radiant skin on the outside if you're super unhealthy on the inside. Great skin comes from within, and once I realized this, that is actually when my acne went away. Before that, I was just treating my skin as this isolated part of my body, not connected to anything else, which is why I thought I could fix it with some secret formula skincare product or just some pill. But by now you should probably understand that isn't really how it works. And this is not just something I'm making up. The gut skin axis is a known term in the scientific literature. We know that your gut health influences your skin health and vice versa through many different mechanisms in the body. Okay, so how do you actually fix your diet so you can actually fix your acne? Well, there's a lot to it, which I go over in my full acne course, link in the description. Sorry for the plug, but it's basically about prioritizing nutrient dense foods and then cutting out gut irritating foods. First up, let's look at gut irritating foods. This can be many things. Junk food is one of the biggest ones, filled with artificial ingredients, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, all these bullshit ingredients, and just no nutrition, no fiber, no anything, which is just gonna mess up your gut health. A poor gut microbiome is connected to acne, and junk food is connected to a poor gut microbiome. So I think it's safe to say that junk food is connected to acne. So basically, step one is to cut out junk food if you want to improve your skin. However, gut irritating foods can actually also be more healthy foods, or at least foods that you think are healthy. Foods like leafy greens that are really high in anti-nutrients, which can actually go in and disrupt your normal gut function, prevent nutrient absorption, which you need for proper skin health, and just, mess up your gut lining, which can then contribute to leaky gut, which can then contribute to acne. And besides, there's really no point in eating all these leafy greens, for example, like spinach and kale, because every single nutrient you find in them can pretty much be found in higher amounts in other more nutrient-dense foods without anti-nutrients. When you look up spinach nutrients on Google, you see that, it's high in like vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin K, minerals like calcium and iron, but in reality, that's not really true. Like, first of all, let's take a look at vitamin A. The vitamin A that you find in spinach isn't actually vitamin A, it's a procarotenoid. It's a compound that has to be converted into vitamin A in the body. But the problem is that a lot of people, about 50% of the population, has this gene that makes them a poor converter, so they can actually only convert about 5 to 10% of these procarotenoids into actual vitamin A. So if you're relying on things like spinach and carrots for all your vitamin A, you could very well be missing out on a lot of this nutrient, which is so important for skin health. So if you actually want to get actual, like, real vitamin A, you're gonna have to eat animal foods like milk, eggs, liver, and so on. Next up, for vitamin C, like, I'm not gonna really say anything, I'm just gonna say eat an orange instead, like citrus fruits. First up, like, they taste much better, way less anti-nutrients, and also really high in vitamin C. Next up, iron. The iron that you find in spinach isn't actually heme iron, which is this more bioavailable form of iron. So basically, the iron in spinach has a really low absorption rate, and when you actually also pair that with this super high amount of oxalates in spinach, this anti-nutrient, you're not really gonna be absorbing a lot of iron when you eat spinach. If you actually wanna get iron in your diet, just eat a steak, some meat, whatever. Last up, calcium. Like, drink a glass of milk. I'm not really gonna say more, like, much more nutrient dense. Milk, cheese, butter, whatever, is a way better source for getting your calcium than stuffing your face with spinach or kale like a goddamn rabbit. So in reality, spinach and all these other leafy greens and just, you know, all these vegetables that you normally see as really healthy aren't actually that healthy and actually really high in anti-nutrients that can contribute to your acne. This also goes for other healthy foods like beans, whole wheat bread and cereals and all that kind of stuff. All of these are high in anti-nutrients which can contribute to your acne by messing up your gut lining, just normal gut function, preventing nutrient absorption and so much more. For example, gluten can actually contribute to leaky gut, this condition where your gut lining isn't properly sealed, which then allows, food particles, bacteria, viruses, all this stuff that's supposed to be in your gut to actually escape out through the gut into your bloodstream, which is then gonna cause inflammation. These particles have to be detoxed some way, which can be out through your skin in the form of acne. And I'm not saying to never eat these foods that I've just mentioned again. It's just important to note that they aren't really as healthy as they're made out to be. So what I'd actually recommend to fix your diet once and for all is to actually go on an elimination diet for 30 to 90 days. Basically eat very nutrient dense foods, cut out all these foods that are high in anti-nutrients, and then slowly add in foods one by one again, so you actually see how the individual foods actually affect your skin. And then from there you can literally build out the perfect diet for yourself that is not going to contribute to your acne. So the staples to start out with are foods like red meat, wild caught fish, oysters, high quality organs, certain fruits, maybe vegetables like carrots, potatoes, and then slowly add in foods that you miss, eggs, milk, sourdough bread, it's a personal favorite of mine, other fruits, vegetables that you enjoy. I go over the full elimination diet protocol in my acne course, once again link in the description if you're interested in that. But basically it's just about prioritizing these nutrient dense foods with the least amount of anti-nutrients. These foods give you really important nutrients for skin health like vitamin A, zinc, copper, anti-nutrients from the fruits which are gonna help prevent inflammation, oxidative stress in the skin, which is a contributor to acne, and also just, vitamin C, stuff like that, which is really important for skin health. Basically, it's about providing the building blocks for your body to actually fix your acne and keep your skin clear and glowing, which you do by eating these nutrient-dense foods. This is what took me literally years to learn and what finally fixed my acne. Like if someone would just have come to me a couple years ago before I was flushing down hundreds of dollars on skincare products every month, taking all these drugs with side effects, like it would have been amazing. And this is about 80% of acne in my opinion. There's also other things that you gotta fix, like your lifestyle, your environment, avoiding toxins, stuff like that. But diet is literally so important in fixing your acne and just overall becoming healthy. But that's pretty much it. There you have it. The dragon scroll of acne is literally just fixing your diet. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Once again, if you're interested in the full A to Z blueprint that I use to fix my acne, there's a link in the description. You can check it out.